Besides the Bulls, Alex, do you have a sleeper team for the finals next year? I'm guessing you're going to pick a Western Conference team, but do you have a sort of sleeper pick for the finals next year?
Yeah, the sleeper pick. The sleeper pick's always such an interesting. I mean, for me, I think it's even losing Jalen. I think it's Dallas. I don't even know if that counts as a sleeper pick, but I know, I know how Jake Kidd operates. I know how Duds operates. I know Greg St. Jean's, one of the best basketball minds in the game. He doesn't get a lot of attention and recognition because he's behind the bench in LA with us. But I know how those guys operate, mentally. And then I know the star power Luka has. He's only going to get better. They're going to. Even this year, I thought they had a chance to get there. And obviously it was at Western Conference Finals. It might not be a sleeper pick, but I still think beginning of next year, nobody's going to say, "Hey, Dallas is going to be back there."
I think that is a sleeper pick. I think that's a really good answer, and I think the fact that you're saying that as a current player really speaks to how good Luka is. And I've said this term a couple times when I talk about Luka and Ja Morant. To me, they're both like singular forces, where if you just put enough around them, they can get you there. They're just that good. And the Western Conference is going to be way tougher next year.
Yeah.
Clippers are going to be healthy. You have to assume the Lakers are going to be better.
Is going to be an interesting team to watch.
New Orleans is going to be really good next year. I think they're going to be a playoff team. We mentioned Minnesota.
Denver.
But you have to assume internally that the Memphis Grizzlies and the Dallas Mavericks are just going to naturally just get better, and they're going to learn from last year's playoffs. So I like that pick. I'm going to throw Denver in there as my sleeper pick.
Getting Jamal back
because they, you play with KCP. They got KCP.
Coach,
I love the Bruce Brown pickup. I liked Monty Morris a lot as a player, but Ish Wright can fill in that backup role. The big question mark, of course, is what version of Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray are we going to see next year? But
they got to be on the court.
But we saw how Nikola Jokic can just like will a team to victory.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, and then so it's like
confirmed.
Yeah, so then it's like, all right, you're putting pieces around him that can play and fit, and if Jamal Murray is any approximation of the player he was before he got hurt, they got a chance, man. Tommy, do you have a pick?
It's not a sleeper pick at all, but I think the Clippers are going to be really, really good. And I wouldn't necessarily say they're the team to beat, but I think in terms of like overall talent, are the most talented team. I also think we should talk about another not sleeper, but I think we should talk about Boston getting Brogdon.
Yeah,
briefly, because that was
nothing.
for nothing, because
nothing.
That's it.
Because
that was a we've talked about it a ton during the finals. It was a hole that they had. They didn't have many holes, and it was a hole that they had, and they sort of filled it with a guy that I think people forget how good he is.
He's borderline all-star. He was, him and Sabonis were before they got Miles Turner in there too. Like they were the two guys that, number one, number two on the scouting report.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Tommy. It definitely fills a need. And I actually think Gallinari, although he's not the player he was 4 or 5 years ago, he also fills a need, because they, even as good as some of their guys are, they still need more shooting. They need more spacing. They had to come off the finals and then get those two guys basically on a taxpayer mid-level, and then in a easy trade. It's a huge win for them.
The one other sleeper, I wouldn't say they're a final sleeper necessarily, but the Hawks are going to be that. The Murray pickup was really good.
I thought you were going to say the Pistons.
No,
really good.
No, but they're going to be. I think they are going to be way better with those two in the backcourt.